Hi, everyone who missed our normal hybrid class today. Here is the video for the 15th of February. I wanted you, first of all, to know because of Lions Pride, which is happening on Wednesday, there is no Ed puzzle due next week. Also, there is no class on Wednesday. So, no Ed puzzle and no class. However, you all have an extra credit opportunity if you'd like to come to the basketball game on Saturday night and root on your championship or semifinals game with your Tarbut Vitora basketball team. But you must have a sign that has something to do with our class in some way that relates to cheering on. So something about Ben Sorero Moret that will in some way cheer on your Lions. All right. Also, one other thing that's going to be due so Purim is coming. If you see right here, on the 6th is the Fast of Esther. On the 7th is Purim Day. And on the 8th, we actually have class. And on the 8th, we're going to have a video contest with great prizes for our winners. And those videos are going to be due on Wednesday, March 1st. So you will probably need to go ahead, and if you want to get started on that, you can get started on that right away. So here is how it works. It's called a new name for Purim, and here's how it works. So why is Purim called Purim, right? So basically, what is the story of Purim? The story of the Purim is about this guy Haman who basically gets angry at Mordechai because Mordechai doesn't bow down to him. And Haman says, I'm going to kill not just Mordechai, but all the people he's connected with. So I'm going to kill all the Jews. But Mordechai's niece is actually the queen, and even though she doesn't tell anyone she's Jewish, Mordechai knows Mordechai tries to convince her to go talk to the king about what's going to happen. And at first Esther is very scared, but then Esther gains the courage to do it, and Mordechai is killed, and the Jews are saved. But at some point in the story, basically Haman basically says, I'm going to figure out which day I'm going to, kill all the Jews. How should I do that? I'm going to make a raffle, and I'm going to place all of the different days of the month of Adar. And there are 29, 30 days of the Jewish month of Adar. I'm going to place them in, and I'm going to pick one out. And he picks the 13th of Adar. Now, each of these raffle tickets is called a pour. And because of that, so what happened was pour plus, and they just added a so um, that's how we got the name Purim. So here's your task, right? So for instance, what if instead of using a lottery ticket to find the 13th of Adar, what if I took ping pong balls, I wrote the numbers 1 to 30 on them, all the days signifying all the days of the month of Adar, I threw them in the air, and one ping pong ball came down, and look at that. That ping pong ball has the 13th of Adar. So instead of calling it Purim, I would change the pour part to ping pong ball. So I would say it would be called ping pong ball. And of course, we have a song that we normally sing, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol Yeladim. But if I change the words now, say Chag Ping Pong Balam, Chag Ping Pong Balam, Chag Gadol Yeladim. Right. So your task, due on March 1st, is to send me your video. All right. My first question of the day was, why did I think Valentine's Day was today and not yesterday? See, so in a sense, if Valentine's Day was a Jewish holiday, it would have been today and not yesterday. Why is that? Because actually, I know that there are many Jewish holidays that turn out to be on the 15th of the month. And 15th in Gematria is Tet plus Vav, or 2. So we have two holidays, one called Tu Bishvat, right, which just passed, the environmental holiday, and the other one called Tu B'Av, which is actually the real Jewish Valentine's Day. So the first thing to do is look up Tu B'Av and tell me why that became the Valentine's Day. What happened actually on Tu B'Av that made that into the day that we call today the Jewish Valentine's Day? And then my second question is, why is it that all the Jewish holidays, if they're created, why is it that they tend to be on day number 15? And so this is day number one. This is day number last of the month. This is day number 15, right here, smack in the middle. And to answer this question, you really need to think about what was life like back a long, long time ago in ancient time, and why might if you had any day to choose of the month to make your holiday happen, why might you choose that day number 15? That's question number two. All right. And So if Valentine's Day was a Jewish holiday, it would be not on the 14th, but on the 15th. Okay, so we had a couple questions in class about the word ra'ui and what does ra'ui mean, and the Gemara asked that question, and the Gemara answered that question and said ra'ui, or the word appropriate, really means equal, shaveh, equal to the boy's father. With a wife is equal in all different ways, equal in voice, equal in height, equal in appearance. Then that boy could become a Ben Surah Mareh. But if these parents, or mom and dad, are not equal, then the person does not become a Ben Surah Umareh. So, by the way, does this increase the number of people who become an Ben Surah, or does it decrease the number of people? That's question number three. Now, look, I mean, are there examples of married couples that look alike? Look at this. Here we have, tell me the couple on this page. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tell me examples of couples. Which couple looks the most like? That's question number four. Okay. So the Talmud basically debates about this idea of Re'ui partner, a partner that is appropriate, a partner that is not appropriate. And they're basically saying a partner that is the most appropriate partner for us to have is a Re'ui, is a partner that is equal in appearance, equal in height, and also equal, I'd say, also on the inside as well, completely equal. Now, if you remember, however, we had another idea of the perfect partner, and the perfect partner in an earlier part in the Torah. All right, and God saw the first human being created, and it was not good, and to be by himself. I will make for this person an ezer kenegdo. And let's just look at these words, ezer kenegdo. What does it mean? Help like against him. What do you think actually for number five? These words ezer kenegdo actually mean. And so we actually have, and here's my explanation: a helper that is strong in places where other person is weak. So that is not really someone who is your equal, but someone who is your what? That's question number six. Um, if a person, who is a person's ezer kenegdo? So question number 7a is if a person if someone was a person who spent money all the time, and the first thing that she saw, her ezer kenegdo would be someone who was. Now 7b, if a person spent all Sunday watching football on TV, sorry, then her ezer kenegdo would be who? That's 7b. And 7c, if someone worked all the time, never took a vacation, the ezer kenegdo would be someone who, right. But a spouse that is ra'ui, if a person who spent money all the time on the first thing that she saw, a spouse that is ra'ui is a spouse that is what? That's 8a. Okay, you get the idea. Or a spouse, if someone spent all Sunday watching football on TV, the spouse that's ra'ui would be what? Right. Okay, you get the picture. So a ra'ui is someone who is like exactly the same. And if you remember, I just want us to look at these comments that we had last semester when we had the term ezer kenegdo, and I want you to look at each of them and ask the question: is this commentator? Is he basically, when he talks about ezer kenegdo, is he saying actually the perfect helpmate is not someone who is against you, but actually is someone who is equal to you? So first start with number 9 is cheskuni, ezer kenegdo ra'ui. Gor Aryeh, number 10, ezer kenegdo ra'ui. Sforno, number 11, ezer kenegdo ra'ui. Radak, number 12, ezer kenegdo ra'ui. Rashi, 13, ezer kenegdo or ra'ui. All right. The last thing we did, and just like kind of your own idea of who do you think make the best partner, and why? Is it someone who is ra'ui, basically equal to you in all ways, or is it an ezer kenegdo, someone who's more like a complement to you? That's question 14. Make sure to explain why. Okay. Now we're up to now we're up to another piece of mission number 5. So this is probably the most restrictive, although that Ra'ui piece was very restrictive of who became a Ben Sura Mareh. This The next Mishnah is also very restrictive. It makes some claims about who does not become a Ben Sura Mareh. So we're talking about the husband and wife. So if one of them was lame, if one of those and lame means that you have an arm but you don't have use of that arm. If one of them had a hand that was missing, so basically they didn't have use of the arm because it was totally gone. Right? If one of them was mute, if one of them was blind, if one of them was deaf, he does not become a Ben Sura Mareh. And so for each of these, the Mishnah is gonna say, surprise, surprise, Shne'emar, Shne'emar, Shne'emar. And of course, what does Shne'emar actually mean? That's right, and that's number 16. And of course, Shne'emar means, here is my proof from the Torah text of my claim. And so I'd like you to go through each of these kind of these ideas, and I want you to show me what the proof is. So from the Torah. So what's the proof if someone's hand wasn't working, they could not become a ben sorer u moreh? Which are the words that you would use from here that help show that? Next one, 18. What are the words that show if someone was actually missing a hand that they would not become a ben sorer moreh? Number 19. Where is there proof in the words below that if one of them was mute, basically if one of them couldn't talk, right? And number 20, if one of them was deaf, how do you know that that person would not become would not be able to be a ben sorer umoreh? Okay, and let's see if you got them correct. So let's look at, so number 1 was what teaches us about the not having use of a hand, because it says his father and his mother shall grab him. Do we have that? Shh. All right, here it is. Father and mother shall take hold of him. So to take hold, you kind of need a usable hand. Did you get that correct? That is question 21. Yes or no? Let's go to the next one. The hand was missing. What should be the shenem, the support for that? And it can't be grab him, by the way. It has to be something else. Okay, and here we have it. Oh, it is take him out, right? So it says, the father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him out. Bring him out, right? So if you got bring him out, that would be correct. Did you get it right? Yes or no? That's 22. 23 question is our mute, right? What's the idea for mute? And it says and say, right? So they're actually have to say something to the elders, right? And if they can't, then they okay. And are blind's hard actually. Blind, it says this son of ours, meaning you're kind of like pointing that son of ours, right? You have to see where he is in order to do that. And deaf is doesn't listen to our voice. If you are deaf, you have no idea if he's listening, because he's going to respond, oh yes, I heard you, or oh no, I didn't hear you. So that is 25. Yes or no? Did you get it right? All right. And then the last piece we did today was we looked at this little piece right here. The name should be Ploni Almoni. Sorry, it says Herschel here, but Ploni Almoni was taken to be judged as a Ben Sura Moreh. As he sits in jail waiting for his trial, he sees an opportunity to escape and he takes it. Search party is formed 3 weeks later. They have found Ploni Almoni, not Herschel, and they hauled him back to jail. Little did they realize that during that time, Ploni Almoni had reached the Mishnah's definition of puberty. Is he chayav or pator? Guilty or innocent? That's question number 26. Okay, um, and then here's another one. I want you to compare that case with this case. Ploni Almoni was taken to be judged and tried as Ben Sura Moreh. He goes for a trial. He's found guilty. He returns to prison and awaits his death sentence. While he is waiting in the jail cell, he sees an opportunity for an escape and he takes it. Search party is formed 3 weeks later. They have found Ploni Almoni and they haul him back to jail. Little did they realize that during that time, Ploni Almoni had reached the Mishnah's definition of puberty. First of all, so what do you call, what is chayav or patur? 27. Okay. Question number 28 is, what's the difference between this case and this case? What's the big difference between the two? Okay, and then the last thing we did in class was I looked at a piece of Jewish law from the Rambam, Moses Maimonides, who wrote the Mishnah Torah, and I just want you to see what he wrote. And my question number 30 that I'm asking you is, why am I asking you to think about this in relationship to these two different cases? Okay, and so check it out. When a non-Jew converts, basically a non-Jew becomes Jewish, he is like a newborn baby, or she is like a newborn baby. Any relatives who he had as a non-Jew or are no longer considered to be his relatives. Um, Okay, and then read what it says in here. According to scriptural law, according to the Torah, a convert can marry someone who wasn't Jewish who converts to Judaism may marry his brother or sister after they convert. So if you have a family that has a boy and a girl, and both of them are not Jewish, and both of them convert to Judaism, they can actually marry each other. Crazy, crazy, but why? What is this? What are these two laws trying to tell us and trying to kind of have us think about? That's question 30. And question number 31 is, why is it that they're in some way connected to these two cases? And the answer to that question is, what is it having us try to think about? It's trying to have us think about different status changes in your life when things change, when you change from this to this and this to that. And what happens to your past? Is it erased? What happens to your future? Is it like what happens to your present? So what do status changes do? And we're going to talk about that more next time. All right, that's it. Send me your answers via email by Friday.